silver medals, still trying to get to the top of that podium. 3-2-1 brawl, dropping into game number 1, and a Spyrox, first one to pick up a weapon.
Yeah, and again, like, I believe winner of this gets qualified into top 8, so much on the line here.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're seeing everybody kind of get that download here. We're kind of starting off a little slower. Both these teams being a little methodical in their movements. Macheeeete caught in between Spyrox and Koko, but Koko going over top of him, putting one on Sgrape. Sgrape gonna come back down, trying to do some of this. Orion, D-Light into Sair, looking for another one, can't find it. Koko getting sent back over, but gonna be able to Sair his way back on the stage, and we are back into neutral.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you notice about the stage is, both teams are much more comfortable going way up high and kind of resetting that way, instead of feeling forced to land back down on the stage. So that's led to this really interesting, like, up, down dynamic. But right now, blue team's been able to convert off that more and gets the first stop.
But it is super close across the board. Everything is pretty even. Everybody is in KO range. Sgrape getting sent back up. Blue team just needs to get that stock off of Sgrape and try and capitalize any bonus damage they can off these opening stocks. But Sgrape getting sent back up. And now Koko and Spyrox holding on here, trying to starve out the weapons. Sgrape having a hard time finding one. Koko gonna be able to no. Spyrox gonna get sent up the top. Koko getting sent to the left. He's gonna have a hard time finding his way back on stage.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Koko still put in a lot of good work. You love that feeling when you're recovering. You just get a KO. Your teammate just sends someone to you. Oh, I didn't even need this, but it works out for you. And so Koko does finally lose that first stock, but fresh in the mix when you have orange and yellow health bars on the red team.
Yeah, it's all evened up. I think this is going to be a common theme in this set. Both these teams playing very well, very evenly matched. Double Lance coming out off of red team right now. And they're doing good work with it. They're mixing up blue team, not letting them really get any balance on stage and set anything up. No openers to be seen. They're just poking away with these lances, keeping everything mixed up. Nice recovery coming up off the unarmed from Spyrox. Switching over to the gauntlets. Ground pound off the stage, but Koko's just going to clear him a path. He comes back up, cleans up the stock. That was a crazy interaction right there. That was a really clean.
Yeah, that looked like almost like a bait from Spyrox, just saying, oh, I'm going to go for the ground pound. Both red team members are like, oh, we're going to capitalize off of this, but Koko saying, no, you are not. Both stocks cleaned up from the red team. I mean, you're one solid hit, one solid head start away from the 2v1. Right. This is such a solid spot here for the blue side.
Yeah, absolutely. That stock coming off, and it all comes down to this. What kind of 2v1 interaction we're going to get? Sgrape going to rack up at least a little bit. 3-piece. Going for the Sair. Can't find it, but nairing him up into the air. Going to keep him going. Koko trying to get back to ground. Set up an opener against Sgrape. Can't find it, so he retreats. Spyrox cooking here. Getting caught in that lance, though. Sgrape retreating. Going over to swap. Trying to help out his teammate a little bit and relieve some of that pressure.
It's so tense. Everyone's just in the scramble directly on top of each other, but no clean openings. There's a lot of whiffs here, a lot of, straight hits, but no crazy team combos. We do finally see Sgrape knock some of the blue side members off stage, but it immediately resets. We're immediately back into this chaotic scramble.
Oh, but that stock coming off of Spyrox is in serious KO range. That Sair is going to get it done. And Sgrape and Macheeeete taking game number 1.
That was a great game 1. I mean, it was so close throughout the entire time. I feel like it's literally just one interaction that decides like so much. There's so much on the line at all times. Whereas before we started to see teams run away with the entire set from the very beginning. This was great. I'm looking forward to the rest of this set.
I mean, you got PR 12, 13, 15, and 22 in here. These guys are so evenly matched. And we're going to Demon Island. This should be good. This should be good. We got no legend swaps to be seen. Everybody's very comfortable in their picks and confident in what they're doing here. We are gonna hopefully load up and drop into Demon Island here. Is Sgrape and Macheeeete gonna be able to extend their lead, or is Spyrox Koko gonna tie it up? We're gonna find out right now.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where you genuinely can't tell based on the first game. Like, no idea. We could very easily see 1-0 on the other foot. So this opening is going to be really important for setting the pace of the rest of this game, because if we can see a sort of clear lead from the start, maybe it'll be, you know, less chaotic as the game goes on.
We'll definitely have to see. Koko, though, having a hard time getting just double poked over here by this Lance. Nice recovery coming from Spyrox, send him up in the air. Another one, Macheeete just getting juggled. Able to get back down and get that sword, though, and he is going to try and get something going, but getting caught in another gauntlet recovery as his teammate gets sent over to the left side. This is a rough start so far for Red Team.
Yeah, and the alley-oop there means we have a 2-stock lead here on blue side. And I mean, Koko's still relatively healthy. You gotta kind of focus on Spyrox at this point. But I mean, Spyrox is playing back, able to get, you know, just safe weapon tosses, as safe as you can with those gauntlets. Finally off stage, and this is a big question. Are you able to let him get back on? And you are. Spyrox still surviving. We finally see that conversion into the recovery, but so much damage is racked up on the red team in the process.
Yeah, we see that second stock, that first stock coming off of Koko as well. And the red team doing a pretty good job of bringing things back in here. Kind of controlling the tempo, controlling the pace a little bit. Macheeete opening up, trying to get back over to Spyrox. There he goes, but Koko right there to shut it down and stop any sort of string coming off of that sword. Ooh, Spyrox and an Sgrape over. Now we have this pressure coming from blue team over on the right side. Macheeete able to jump over and escape it, trying to set things back over on the other side. Little friendly fire there. Sgrape gonna try and get back up, and he gets pogoed off of that spear weapon throw, but somehow weasels him right up there. Ground pound gonna shut it down though.
The recovery of Lance is limitless, but can only do you so good to get back on stage. Once you're there, stock's taken, and another 2-stock lead here for the blue team.
Absolutely, but Sgrape in a red right now, and they are he's sitting back playing good support. See if he can find a good way to get in here. Try to rack up damage to Koko, catching them both. Nice nair to keep Macheeete up. Oh, tried to catch Sgrape with another nair, probably nair into recovery, but missed. But that recovery still not going to be enough to take him to the roof of Demon Island, but that neutral sig most certainly will. Koko's going to snare his way back on stage. Man,
yeah,
I don't know.
Sgrape tossed the weapon trying to get the edge guard, and so, I mean, you are finally able to get the stock now, but, you know, you're down in the 2v1, just going for the signature off stage. I thought that was just going to be an SD, like, I'm done, but no, fighting to the bitter end. You got a tall mountain to climb, Sgrape. You got some range, you know, you have a decent, you know, get off me tool with that, but that one simple mistake means we are 1-1 here in this best.
There we go.
Set.
Heating up in this top 8 qualifier. We are going, like he said, we are going into game number 3, all tied up. And once again, these guys are just locked into these legends, and nobody is going to swap off of their play style. And we are going to drop back in here. This is heating up. This is definitely, we have the potential to go the distance here to game number 5. We're dropping back into Demon Island. And dropping into neutral here, why Spyrox tries to get the weapon, and he does. Sgrape still left weaponless, but fighting unarmed, just steps right into that spear and doesn't even hesitate, just goes straight to work with it.
Yeah, I pick it up, get to work. Still, like, a very even start here. We see a bit more damage here on the blue side, but they have control of the stage. So what are they able to get with that? You know, you able to get the advantage in the initial interaction, but can you actually convert? And we do actually see a good alley-oop there into the signature. Spyrox going up high, trying to close out an early stock, but it's swapping back and forth here. Can you make it back right now? If you're Macheeete, you can. It's no stocks are gone, but there's so many opportunities for them to.
Okay, Sgrape's gonna be the first to fall. But both these teams just having a really hard time breaking away with any sort of considerable lead. It is just back and forth, back and forth. We see Sgrape and Macheeete, though, they are now on their second stocks, able to capitalize on it, though, looking like they're going to push Koko off. Both blue players are fighting to get back up on stage. And they try to put the 2v1 on Koko, but Koko doing a really good job there for a mid staying out of it. The down sig going to get him. Little Sair is going to take Spyrox, and we're all tied up on stock.
All tied up. So the question is, can you get the weapons here for the blue team before you take too much damage? And the answer is yes. Both picked up very quickly. And So this lead is just going to get further extended unless red team pulls off something massive right here.
That was good. He caught his teammate up, and words are hard today apparently, but was able to go ahead and break up that string, get him off his teammate, and Spyrox getting sent down unarmed. Sarah gonna bounce his face off the side of the stage. Sweat beads coming out, and that stock, he needed to keep that for a while. And his teammate's gonna get bodied while he is trying to get back on stage. Koko's big haymaker trying to get something going over there unarmed, but they're gonna starve him out. 7-2v1, Spyrox is gonna come in, put some pressure on, but no, Koko is gonna be sent out again. Red team's doing a really good job trying to take advantage of this slight little power play they got going here.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Gauntlets is when you're trying to actually pressure with them, it's kind of hard to do that when you are going against something like a Rocket Land, something like that. You're trying to cover for your teammate, but you have to put yourself at such a risk to do so. Yeah, so we see the stock count even up. Still anyone's game somehow throughout all of this. We are dead even one stock apiece.
I don't know how we don't go to a game 5 in this one, if I'm being perfectly honest. This is just so close. Macheeete getting sent off stage. That's not where he wants to be right now. Recovery gonna find his way back over, trying to swap, getting behind Koko, but Koko sees the threat coming, and we're seeing everybody jock for position here, looking for the best opener. Spyrox gonna send Macheeete out of here, and they're hooking up Sgrape, send him off to the left side.
That feels good.
Oh yeah, and that's the one thing about twos. You always see the flashy twos combo, and that's really kind of the first like definitive twos combo we've got in our set here, our block so far. Unfortunately, it was at the expense of Koko and Macheeete, but they've already proved they're able to take a game. They've done it before. We're gonna go into game number 4. Them being down 1. Seeing the stats come up here. Oh, it's just so even. You see the stats, man. It's just, oh my goodness. So evenly matched these two teams are. We're going to drop back in here.
Yeah, like over 1,000 damage from each team.
Yeah.
Like it's going down to the wire here. But yeah, game number 4, 2-1 here for the blue side. But with how this set has gone, I would also not be surprised if we see a game 5.
I mean, as close as this is, I mean, this is good Brawlhalla bio. I'm trying to go to game 5. This is, these two teams just so evenly matched. Macheeete, though, kind of looking like all alone there in center stage, trying to find somewhere to swing that sword. Weapon throw coming out. How quick this broke up. That's so freaking smart. Spyrox turning around, gonna go ahead and put a Sair on his teammate to be able to get that option, to be able to get back up. If he wouldn't have done that, he wouldn't have had a jump. He would have been KO'd as well. Great awareness to know how to get the option to get back up on stage. That was super cool.
Yeah, it's like in the movies when someone like jumps off a floating rock mid-air to get the last bit of height that you need. But the question is, what can you do with that stock? Spyrox is able to find one of his own, just deep in the red, so you gotta be playing careful.
Yeah, absolutely. But, red team is in the same position. Macheeete getting sent off of his. He's going to come back in. They're going to go ahead and swap weapon, try and keep him off of it for as long as they can. Chasing him down, throwing the nairs up. Going to get down. Nope, Macheeete is able to come over and get that weapon drop. Spyrox being sent out at the same time. Koko doing a really good job dealing with this 2v1 situation here and literally taking 0 damage while he's waiting on Spyrox to spawn back in.
But yeah, with that, extra bit of life, Spyrox was able to take 2 stocks. So we have a bit of a lead here for the blue side. And again, this is elimination and also qualifier for top 8. So, I mean, the pressure's on red team. And we see that stock go for Sgrape, potential last stock of the tournament here.
Yeah, this is not the position they want to be in, especially with that much health still on Spyrox. He's doing a really good job floating around with those gauntlets, staying away from those anti-aerials. He's just floating, making his way around the stage, getting his 1-2s in there. Great patience, but wrong signature. Nice recovery up. Macheeete on tournament stock. Oh, it's looking bad.
It's It's looking bad, but I mean, you can get an equalizer under Koko if you're able to actually find an opportunity to whip punish. But Koko is just swinging left and right and able to rack up so much damage in the process. And now we have this 2v1. We already saw blue side close it out with the crazy combo in the last game. Are we going to see something similar, or just, you know, nice and slow, nothing fancy?
They had it set up till Spyrox dropped it. It was cooking. Macheeete throwing the weapon, the lance over, swapping for that sword. Don't know if that's going to give him quite the range that he wants. Recovering back up, staying out of the way. Nice Sair. Going to go ahead and get the stock off of Spyrox. He may not have a whole lot of gas in the tank, but he is definitely letting them know that he is still here. Unfortunately, that was going to be his last-ditch effort, and with that Sair, he is sent out of this bracket and out of Summer Championship 2v2s.
I mean, a fantastic set either way.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, definitely, I think that's my favorite that we've seen so far.
That was hype.